So we have with us our next very interesting guest, a co-founder of AdLunam, Nadja Bester. Hi, Nadja. Happy to have you on Altcoin Observer. Nadja is the co-founder of AdLunam Inc. and they have a very unique engage to earn and proof of attention model. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
First of all, very happy to be here. Super excited to be interviewed by Altcoin Observer. Engage to earn proof of attention. It's a complex topic that I can really start off at any level. So I think to keep things a little more broad, when you think of the traditional models that gave way to Web3, there were problems in the traditional models, in the traditional financial system, in Web2 social media. These institutions, these organizations, these systems, their time is up. But they are the predominant systems. Now, suddenly, for the last, since the Bitcoin white paper came out, so just over a decade, we've had a new system, and we've had a new system that has been branching out continuously, time and time again. So if you look at the way that community works in Web3, community is in Web3 what it can never be in Web2. Because in Web3, community is integral to building the project with the community's help. In the Web2 world, you can build a startup, and you don't need the community to get to VC funding. You don't need the community to get to market, because when you launch, that's when these things can start happening. However, in the Web3 space, everything centers around community. Now, this is fantastic when you think about the fact that user empowerment is at the forefront in this industry in a way that it cannot be in any other industry. However, community in crypto is a complex topic. You have community in crypto that are there simply because the project is giving airdrops. They are there because the IDO is coming up. But as soon as those milestones are done, the community is gone. Because the community was a pseudo community. It was people who, for whatever reason, speculators, hype chasers, people just jumping onto whatever is trendy because that's what the KOLs are selling, for example. So yes, we've shifted the focus from no community to community-centric, but I think we have not really solved the problems with making community a center point, because at the moment, community in Web3 is a meal ticket. It's a way that people see, someone's going to put in money, no matter what this is. We'll put in money because everyone's putting in money. And so what AdLunam really focuses on is to completely transform the relationship between the community and projects needing community. So if you think about engage to earn, we are expecting users on the internet, whether Web2 or Web3, we are demanding their attention. We are saying, if you want to use my platform, give me your full attention while I give you nothing back other than for you to see the feed. You don't own your content. You do not own your connections that you are connected to. It's 100% in our control, and all you need to do is show up, give us all your time, give us all your attention, give us all your data, and we'll make you feel good by giving you a notification that someone liked your post. In Web3, it's a little bit more siloed in the sense you have active communities on Twitter. Have active communities on Telegram, on Discord, on LinkedIn, I'm not sure about Facebook so much, but so these pockets of communities everywhere. But these are people that are still being tracked, even in Web3, by how many posts did you like and how many times did you reshare my post. However, if you actually ask those communities that are supporting these projects, do you know what these guys do? Are you with them for the actual use case that they are building? Very often that's complete separation between the project wanting to onboard the community because they need supporters and the community going, well, there's an airdrop I can, take part in. There's an IDO I can take part in, but then the community it's not a longevity attached to it. There's no evergreen community. As soon as the community has gotten what they were offered, because this is the model. We are inviting you saying, hey, come to my house for 5 minutes. We'll hang out. But after 5 minutes, there's no reason for you to be there anymore. And so really, proof of attention and engage to earn is saying, if you are user-centric, start with your user in mind. What are the problems that your users are facing? that your problem is a solution to. Your solution cannot be a problem that they don't know they are facing, or you've decided that's the problem they are facing. So ultimately, in a nutshell, I think that we are seeing a shift in Web3 away from the hype chasers, away from the speculators. But the question then becomes, what is it? And I think what that is to put the users first and build your entire model around the user, as opposed to building your model the way you want to, and then saying, how can we serve the user within this model that's already been preset?
Interesting. So, what top 3 tips would you give a project which is just launching on how to build an engaging and quality community?
Question of the hour. As I said earlier, community is a complex topic. We have to keep in mind that if you are an early stage project and you are going to a VC, one of the first questions they are going to ask you is, what are your community numbers? Now, if you're a project that is just starting up, you have no funds, how do you get those community numbers? And yet, those are the metrics by which you are judged in order to take the next step to advance in your own startup. So I think, crypto is an incredibly collaborative place. Web3, which is an industry that is exploding by the day. I mean, you meet people who are doing something in Web3 that you've never heard of, and you are meeting people in Web3 that are building things for the traditional world that you didn't know was happening. So Web3 is very broad. However, it's a difficult place to build community because of the reasons I mentioned. So what I would suggest is absolutely do not try to do anything in silo. If you are building something, if you are building a product, if you're building a community, reach out to other people. You being part of a network, you being part of an ecosystem, that is the secret. Everyone has great ideas. Ideas are great, right? But an idea alone is not enough. It takes a village to raise a child, and 100% if you're an early stage founder building a community, you are not going to build a community by setting up a Twitter account, getting a few micro influencers to follow you. That's not the way to build a community. What you need to do is you need to understand that the community is not there for you. And this is a difficult pill to swallow, because we all love to think that the community, this big word, community, what does it mean? Who is the community? So if you are building for the community to come to you because you're so great, it's not going to happen. What you need to do is to build something, and then there's a lot of other steps. You asked for 3, I can probably give 10. There's a lot of step-by-step things that need to be done, but I think ultimately if you do not decide at the onset that you are taking a leadership approach that is a servient leader, as in you have to serve the people that you are building for, then it's easy for the hype chasers and the speculators to come on, glob on and say, cool, I'll be with you for the 15 minutes of fame until, in fact, in Web3, it's probably 15 seconds of fame. So I think really having a focus on a sustainable product linked to a sustainable community. Now, what that means is not something we can talk about, in 5 seconds. But I think really, ultimately, if we are going to build sustainability in Web3, if we are going to onboard people that are going to be here longer than 15 seconds, we have to understand that they are not here because they are doing us a favor. They are here, they are in it for themselves. And if you are not giving them what they want, they will use you the same way that you are using them. So I think the only way really for us to stop having these conversations is to stop saying, what can this person do for me? But ask, what can I do for the industry and these people, so that the industry is no longer a fringe industry. So we don't have to talk about, when is everyone going to mass adopt or implement? Because it will just be the next natural step. So yeah, not a direct, easy takeaway answer, but I think we have a lot of deep questions that we need to address as founders before we are ready for the community.
And the last question, what is your prediction for Bitcoin for the end of the year?
I think this is probably the most difficult question I've ever been asked. I do not have a prediction. However, I can predict one thing. If you are not hodling, you are going to regret it. Bitcoin goes like this, but in just over a decade, Bitcoin has gone from something that people spend 10,000 Bitcoin on to buy pizza, to now when the Bitcoin price fluctuates, it fluctuates in the tens of thousands of dollars. So whatever the price is going to be, get some if you don't have already and hold on to it. Forget about it, it'll pay off.
Thank you so much, Nadja. Nice to have you on Altcoin Observer.